You reach into your pocket without thinking. A card, a phone, a few coins. You trade a tap of plastic for coffee and never once wonder what you're actually holding. It has no value on its own. It's paper, metal, a number on a screen. And somehow, that convinces total strangers to hand you food, shelter, safety. For 290,000 years, humans lived without a single coin, bill, or bank account. No currency existed at all. So how did people trade, save, and survive without money? The answer isn't what you think, and it says something uncomfortable about the world you live in right now. Here's the story economists have been telling for centuries. Before money, people bartered. You had chickens, I had shoes. We swapped. Eventually, bartering got clunky, so someone invented coins to make trading easier. It sounds logical. It's taught in textbooks as fact. There's just one problem. Anthropologists have spent decades searching for a society that actually ran on pure barter, and they can't find one. Not one confirmed case anywhere, ever. The barter economy you learned about in school appears to be a myth invented by economists, not something that actually happened. So what were people doing instead? The evidence points somewhere stranger. Long before coins, before even writing, humans were keeping track of debts. In Central Africa, a baboon bone carved with tally marks sat buried for roughly 20,000 years before anyone found it. Notches in bone, tracking something, someone, some quantity owed. That's not money, that's memory, a record of who owes who. And that idea, memory is currency, turns out to be the real foundation of the ancient economy. Fast forward to Mesopotamia, around 5,000 years ago. When humans invented writing, the very first thing they used it for wasn't poetry or law, it was accounting. Clay tablets recording barley, animals, debts owed to temples. Around 2400 BC, a ruler named Enmetena had a dispute recorded in clay. His city had lent barley to a neighboring city, at interest, and the loan hadn't been repaid. That's one of the oldest financial arguments ever written down. Before money as an object existed, debt as a relationship already did. You didn't need a coin to owe someone. You just needed a reputation and a community that remembered. Now here's where it gets stranger. On a tiny Pacific island called Yap, people used stone discs as money. Not small stones. Some were 4 meters wide, far too heavy to carry. So they didn't move them. When ownership changed hands, the stone just stayed exactly where it was, and the entire community simply agreed, out loud, who owned it now. And once, one of these giant stones was lost at sea in a storm, sank straight to the bottom of the ocean, gone forever. Its owner didn't lose a thing. The value didn't come from the stone, it came from everyone agreeing it existed. That single sunken rock is still considered valid currency on that island, to this day. Coins, as we know them, didn't show up until surprisingly late. Around 600 BC, in a kingdom called Lydia, a king started stamping metal discs with an official seal, guaranteeing their weight and purity. For the first time, value came from a government's word, not from what your neighbors remembered about you. That single decision changed everything. Trust used to live in your community. After coinage, trust started living in a symbol stamped by someone in power. And that brings us back to you, tapping a card for coffee. Here's the uncomfortable part. Researchers studying that Yap stone money have pointed out something unsettling. The system where you don't hold the object, where value exists because a network of people agree it exists, isn't ancient history. It's Bitcoin. It's your bank balance. It's the number on your phone that represents money you'll never physically touch. For 290,000 years, humans built economies on memory, reputation, and mutual trust, no object required. Then we spent 5,000 years building elaborate physical stand-ins, coins, bills, gold, only to slowly drift back toward the exact same idea we started with. A number nobody can hold that everyone agrees is real. Ancient humans would probably recognize your bank app faster than they'd recognize a dollar bill.